Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme. And in the studio, we have Alan Rough, Hugh MacDonald and Darren Jackson here to join us and talk about the burning issues of the day. Yeah, lots to talk about. Rangers AGM this morning at the SEC Armadillo, and our man Gabriel Antoniazzi was there.
So the rumours are true. Dave King will be stepping down as Rangers chairman after 4.5 years. It was confirmed at the Rangers AGM, which just took place behind me at the Armadillo on the Clyde side earlier this morning. So it will be at the end of the year that he steps down. He will continue to support the club as a shareholder, and he also announced that in 2020 there will be a new round of funding via a share issue. Many people leaving the AGM this morning have said positive things about King, great chairman, I've had said, and some other mixed reviews as well. But since he took over in 2015, the club has only been on the rise, so many people just view him in a positive light. Who takes over remains to be seen. We'll just have to wait for that one.
The main points from the Rangers AGM, I suppose it's all about the King is dead, long live the King. Who is going to be the next King, Hugh MacDonald?
Well, in the short term, of course, Douglas Park's going to take over, but he's not in it for the long term. I think it'll be investors from Hong Kong, the Julian Wolfarts of this world, that will decide, who's the next king, who will be the, I think Wolfart will be the kingmaker in that sense, and we'll bring somebody on board from there.
When you look over his period, roughly 5 years, they've incurred a lot of losses. Dave King says that was the necessary evil to get Rangers back on an even keel.
Yeah, and I think most of the Rangers supporters will be happy with what he's done. I'm just a wee bit surprised he decided to leave now. Particularly, the things are going so well at Rangers. It looks as if they might be able to get something this year. And I've thought, as the chairman, we'd want to hang about to see that actually happening, not just to cap everything that he's done. And he certainly has done a lot better than the previous.
I think when you look back over the 5 years, though, Darren, the battle with Mike Ashley has been almost like a noose around his neck. Just when you thought Rangers were going to be able to wash their hands of the whole affair, it just continually soaks up the money that could have been spent elsewhere.
100%, Peter. A very, very shrewd businessman, Mike Ashley. And but it amazes me that when it all kicked off, that they didn't get to sit round the table and discuss, can we work together? They might not have been able to work together, which is a good chance, but can we work together? Can we take Rangers forward? Do you want to be part of this? Probably Mike Ashley wanted to be the kingpin, but at the end of the day, if it was a value to Rangers, he can be the kingpin. It doesn't really matter who's the man at the top. It's the investment for the team, taking the club forward, as you've said before about the investment in the training ground, which has been great, and in the stadium. But I still think that there could have been discussions there, and I'm not saying it could have worked out. I don't know if it could have worked out, but potentially you've got someone there that could help you take the club to where it should be. Yeah.
When I look over that 5 year period, though, with Dave King in charge, if he didn't have, and I think he expressed his, he talked about certain directors that his gratitude towards them for digging into their own money, Hugh, is the key here, because if it wasn't for the likes of a Douglas Park, a lot of the times when they desperately needed money and an injection of cash, they would have been in trouble.
Absolutely, and Douglas Park has gone to the well on many occasions, as George Leatham as well has done the same. So their roles in Rangers, I think anybody who's interested in football will look at them and say they're putting in money which they worked hard all their lives for, and absolutely not sure of any return on it. So that has to be praised. I think the Ashley thing is a running sore. It continues as we speak. My understanding is Dave King's going to stay on the retail board to bring the Ashley thing to a closure. Is that wise? I would say from the outside, no. I think that should have been diffused a long time ago. Rangers are not only losing a huge revenue stream, but they've also lost money in court costs and have also lost money in damages.
Yeah.
It's just been a car crash for them.
There's going to be another share issue, Hugh. There's obviously a desire to try and, underwrite any shortfall from Dave King, one of his companies. But with that share issue, you know what clubs are like. You need a huge amount of money. You need a huge amount of money actually invested constantly. It's almost like the animal that needs fed non-stop.
Was that wee noise? Was that the cash fairy coming down?
That was Christmas. That was Christmas.
What was going on? I was looking under my chair. I think I'll go back to the share issue. What the share issue has been doing is really, as you know, it's just been plugging the gaps. I mean, the shares are becoming diluted. People are putting in don't really expect any return for it. Club 1872 have been criticised for putting in because, they're putting in fans' money and it's been diluted. But I'm of the opinion, if the fans know that, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. If the fans want to support their club that way, that's what it's all about. But the share issue is not for investment going forward. It's to plug the gaps.
Yeah, and the next man in, Roughie, this is what we call the kitchen sink season. Rangers are throwing everything at it to stop 9 in a row. If they don't do that, then the whole thing starts again. You need to have money. Dave King says that this will be the first summer where they'll be able to sit down with Steven Gerrard and say, this will be your transfer budget. Before they've had to kind of almost, on a wing and a prayer, look towards people to dig in. But he's going to have a budget. But I think if they don't stop it this year, it's going to have to be something colossal to stop the next one.
Yeah, well, it's just going to get worse and worse, isn't it? If there's not heavy income coming in. Dave King's already went on record to say the way we get out of this is if we win the league and we go into Champions League football. That is the carrot at the end of it. And it will be a lot of money coming into the club if they progress the right way. But that's the only way. To put all your eggs in one basket, as you say there, if nothing materialises this year, then you have to go back to the well.
It just shows you how valuable this cup coming up, this cup final, it could, never mind money, this is a confidence shot in the arm if Rangers can get the win in the cup final, Darren.
I think it's for both, but it's probably especially for Rangers if they can get the win over, get the monkey off the back and get a trophy again. It will be massive for the rest of the season. But we all know it's going to be hard, but they'll fancy themselves. They're playing well every game that they're going into, and I think that's where Stephen's taken them from last season, that they're not losing stupid games this year.
Yeah.
And it was always going to be like that, and I think it could end up the Old Firm. Yeah, they'll drop points here and there. Both will drop points here and not a lot, so it'll end up the Old Firm games that'll be the most obviously the important ones.
Yeah.
But that's how far they've moved on, I think.
I'm looking at it, the only bit of spin, major spin in the whole of the AGM this morning, because the proof is in the pudding, but the fans will judge in the forthcoming months and the years ahead with whoever comes in, whether they are going to be a success or not. The only bit of spin I think you put on it was, Ross Wilson and Steven Gerrard sitting down and saying, well, in the current market, the players are worth this, but we reckon they're worth £55 million more. And Rangers could yield £103 million from player transfers. That's what I call one of those dreamy stories that's sent out there as just a positive spin to some fans who lap it up. The truth of the matter is, the only thing that matters as far as players are concerned is don't sell Morelos, don't destabilise the club in January by giving Celtic the perfect chance to win the title when you sell your biggest goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing about valuations, the only valuation that matters, and you said it, is what you know, you could talk and argue all day about what a player is worth. What a player is worth is what somebody buys them for. That's as simple as that. I mean, you could go out. We've had these arguments. People keep saying, "Oh, McBurney's this, McBurney's that." McBurney's a £20 million player. Why do I know that? Because somebody paid 20 million for him.
Yeah.
So it all depends who you think. It's interesting. I was down in London, Peter, and I talked to two different managers. I'll protect them by anonymity. But I said to them, if you had to go for Morelos, how much would you pay for them? One said 5 million and one said 12. Now, look at the disparity there.
Yeah.
You have no chance to get them for 5
No,
million.
absolutely none.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you look at it, Peter, is clubs aren't stupid. They'll look at Rangers and they'll say they've not got bundles of money just now, so they'll make them an offer that they think they might take it.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll take it in January because they'll obviously... But in the summer, they're not going to say, right, we'll just go and pay, because Rangers don't have that money. It's like when I was an agent, when you've got one club interested in your player, it's hard to negotiate. But see, when you've got 3 and 4, you get obviously a better deal. So you're looking at Rangers, you're looking at Edward at Celtic. If he was to go, Celtic don't really need to sell him, so they'll probably get bigger money.
Yeah.
But I don't think, as I say, I don't think Morelos will go in January.
No, absolutely not. OK, as far as Rangers fans out there, if you're happy with the AGM and what's been said at it, are you happy with our competition? It's a chance to win a signed Barry Ferguson shirt.
Hi, I'm Barry Ferguson. Don't forget to like, share and follow our social media channels at PLZ Soccer. To win this shirt, all you have to do is guess my favourite Rangers goal.
Yeah, you could have that shirt. All you've got to do is like, share, follow, or indeed subscribe, and then just mention what you think Barry's favourite Rangers goal is that he scored. Simple as that. Good luck with that. We will get a competition with Darren. We'll get him standing doing a wee bit of Oscar stuff there as well. Roughie, just holding up the 15 shirts of all the clubs he's played for. What a chance to win. Meadowbank. There you are. Ferranti Thistle. It's all there. But you can win that competition shirt if you know his favourite goal as well. Good luck with that. So from Rangers and the AGM, we switch our attention to Celtic and their fans, because the Green Brigade, is it time for them to buck up their ideas, Hugh? Because here's a statement coming out from Celtic. Following the latest UEFA disciplinary decision, we can confirm that there will be a partial closure of the rail seating section at Celtic Park for the forthcoming match against Rennes. All those supporters affected will be notified and will receive a refund. The club also faces another UEFA charge for the use of pyrotechnics during the match in Rome recently, and this will be heard on the 12th of December. Regrettably, those charges and sanctions continue to damage the club's reputation, and this behaviour continues to threaten supporter safety. UEFA's rules and the club's long-established ground regulations are very clear. Indeed, the club engages in regular dialogue with all supporters groups to ensure these are well known and understood. We have considered this matter very carefully. It is disappointing that behaviour which is unsafe and which we all know will breach UEFA and club regulations has continued. Now, that little bottom paragraph there, that they are in consultation with supporters groups, yet it still happens, tells me that the Green Brigade think they're all on to themselves.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely they do. I mean, this is complete and utter flouting of a series of sanctions. Now, they might believe, like the great saying, you know, no pyro, no party. They might believe that. But at one point it comes to them that they sit down as supporters of the club. They say, what are we doing here? We're costing the club money all the time just because we want to do what we want to do. It can't go on like that. I mean, at the moment, the sanctions are bearable and that they're financial ones. They're not great, but they're financial ones. If UEFA get even tougher and you start talking about closing sections of the ground, it's just crazy. It has to stop. It's as simple as that. If you're a supporter of the club and you see it on social media, supporters of the club, you know, begging the Green Brigade, enough. You know, let's stop this.
Yeah, absolutely. Roughie, I look at some of the banners. They can be very positive. They can put on, you know, wonderful displays, but there's just that area where they delve into, which I think is in poor taste and taints the club's image.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. I think the majority of the supporters believe that as well. They're bringing the name of the club down. They do add something to the game in a singing capacity. They make the place bounce, and you can't get away from that. We don't know why they go down that road of attracting the fines. And I think Peter Lawwell's just been a step ahead here, because I think he knows if it continues, the next thing is they're going to be told to shut a part of the ground. So they've been seen to be active in this whole thing, which will probably help them in the long run.
Yep, okay, you can give us your thoughts on that. We switch our attention from one area of Glasgow right across to the east now to Edinburgh, and Daniel Stendhal, extensive talks with him, still no indication that there's going to be, he's going to be the new Hearts manager or anyone else, so they're taking the time on this one. It's such a huge call for your old club, Darren.
It is, and I think they're right taking their time. They're interviewing, it looks of the 5 or 6, and very impressive ones. Alan Irvine, who I played with at Dundee United, who's meant to be an excellent coach, a fantastic coach on the
Did you say you played with him at Dundee United?
Yes.
Wow. I can't even recall that period as well.
Yeah, so
He was a winger, wasn't he?
Yeah. So he's meant to be very good, but I think they're right. I was there on Saturday. Obviously, it was a disaster. They're way better than what they showed on Saturday. It was just one of those games that Kilmarnock got ahead with it was a poor goal, and the confidence just looked as though it shattered out of them. I think Austin, now whether he should get the job or not, I think Austin is very good at what he does in analysis. Now whether he stays with the new man, but I do honestly, Peter, I think they're right in taking their time. Yes, the fans want them in after losing 3-0 to Kilmarnock in a poor performance. Fans just want a manager in and get the club secure and moving forward. But I think Anne Budge is right in taking their time.
Yeah, okay. Another little point I want to get your thoughts on, guys. Hugh, there was a hint from Dave Cormack with all the fanfare. Of course, the headline screams investment, massive investment for Aberdeen. I don't think it's the massive investment that the Dons fans, once they read the fine print, are thinking about with regards to players on the park. But there's a wee hint from Dave Cormack that maybe they could stay at Pittodrie if they can't get the finance in place for the Kingsford Stadium.
Yeah, I think he's playing it as you would expect, very shrewdly, very smartly. He's exerting all levers in the favour of he's a big businessman. He knows how to play the game. I'd be very, very surprised if they didn't move. But I would think this would be more manoeuvring rather than anything else. I think it's very interesting that we could do almost another programme on it, though, the level of interest in Scottish clubs from other countries at the moment. It's now becoming a fairly big trend. You've got the American investors at Dundee United. You've got, what's happening at Aberdeen. There's people looking, I know there's people looking at other clubs in Scotland as well for investment. And it's for a game that was on its uppers, or perceived to be on its uppers, it's interesting people are seeing that there might be value in Scottish football.
Yep, well, let's hope so. Roughie, St Mirren against Hibs, an emotional return maybe for Jack Ross, and a chance to maybe get a few applause from the stands and then go and hammer St Mirren.
Yeah, well, that'll be the theory. I think he will get a very, very good reception. The time that he was there, he did everything correctly. I think the supporters bought into everything he was doing. I think St Mirren will get a wee lift for that late goal at the weekend.
I think so as well.
But I think Hibs maybe have to settle for a draw in this one.
Oh, there you are, Roughie. Just move the scalps off your backside here, Roughie. That's great. Here's a look at the Champions League for tonight, because as ever, it's always good stuff. A couple of cracking games. Tottenham against Olympiacos, Man City against Shakhtar Donetsk. The reason I mentioned those, the one that's the main talking point, Hugh, Jose Mourinho. Tottenham, we expect to get to the knockout stages. Can he get them back to a Champions League final?
I really don't know. The thing about Mourinho has to be a new Mourinho, and I think he knows it in his press conference. I think the old Jose is a burst. A burst ball. Are
you talking Jose now with a bit of humility?
Well, I think a bit of more pragmatism about what he can do and what he can get away with, because he's in the last couple of clubs he's been at, he's realised that if you fall out with the players, it's not the players that go, it's the manager that goes. And I think he realises that in real politics now. If that is the case, you've got to look at him, his track record, he's a winner. He wins everywhere. And I think if I was going to have a wee bet this year, I might not bet the Tottenham to win the league, certainly not, or the Champions League, but maybe win a trophy, because I bet he plays his strongest team and all the trophies, in the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Yeah, and with that in mind, Hugh won't be doing any betting. We forbid him from any sort of betting.
My counsellor's the same.
It's exactly that, Hugh. Don't bet anything that Hugh said either. Simple as that. Thanks to everyone. Don't forget social media right across the board. We love to hear your comments. Try and keep it about football. Twitter, Facebook. We're on Facebook Live every day. You get a chance to participate with us, and also over and above that on YouTube you get a chance to see our one-to-ones, and we've just released Johnny Russell in conversation with me, talking about over in America playing for Kansas City, also his time at Dundee United, how he would love to have signed for Celtic, his battles with Zlatan as well. So much that Johnny reveals, and we'll also get his chat with some of his strange nights, including waking up with Danny Swanson in his bed after Dundee United won the Scottish Cup. Now, there's something you don't hear every day. Anyway, on that note, don't forget that you can join us tomorrow on the programme. Barry Ferguson will be with us, and Tam McManus. And also, the podcast this week is coming out with James McFadden as our special guest. You can download the app. Thanks to Roughie, thanks to Hugh MacDonald, thanks to Darren Jackson. Coming up right after this programme, you'll get some fantastic deals on new and used cars with Arnold Clark. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome to the latest from Arnold Clark, where we bring you the best deals from across the country from Europe's largest independent car retailer. Here are just 3 of the unmissable deals that we've picked out for you this week. First up is this 69-plate Vauxhall Corsa. One of the UK's most popular super minis has had a facelift, and this 1.4-litre 3-door Griffin model takes things a step further with its stylish sports interior, heated front sports seats, finely tuned sports suspension and 16-inch black twin-spoke alloy wheels. It also comes with the Navi 4.0 IntelliLink 7-inch touchscreen, and you can get all that for $10,998 or just £169 a month. But be quick, there's only a limited stock available. If you're looking for incredible value for money in the SUV crossover market, then it's hard to look past the hugely popular Dacia Duster. This 19-plate 1.3-litre prestige model could be yours for $16,498 or £249 per month. For that, you get a whole host of features new to the Duster, including climate control, curtain airbags, blind spot warning, keyless entry, 17-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels, and a 7-inch touchscreen multimedia system with satellite navigation, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Add in remarkably cheap running costs, and the overall Dacia package is hard to beat. Finally, here's your chance to own one of the most thrill-seeking rides around, and for an unbeatable price. This 5-door 19-plate BMW 1 Series 118i M Sport gives you all the handling expertise you'd expect from a BMW, coupled with style and refinement, and all for $17,998 or £269 per month. And this Shadow Edition also comes with black Dakota leather seats, LED headlights with automatic beam control, 18-inch double spoke alloy wheels, and the outstanding Harman Kardon sound system. For more details on any of the fantastic deals available from Arnold Clark, simply head over to arnoldclark.com/deals or get in touch with your nearest Arnold Clark branch. I'll be back next time with more mouth-watering deals, but until then, thanks for watching and happy motoring.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.